Okay, I think I'll get started now. Imogen, do you mind us keeping an eye on anyone who's joining the lobby? And yeah, wonderful. Thank you. Okay, good morning, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to join us for our August webinar. Hope everybody is keeping well. Before we get started on our agenda for today, we're just going to go over a bit of housekeeping. So today's session will be recorded and shared with all registrants later on next week. So if you'd like to share the recording with a colleague who's unable to attend, or if you'd like to revisit any of the content covered in today's session, you can. A copy of the slides and the Q&A will also be sent to registrants next week. The audio for the session is available through your computer speakers or by dialing in by phone. If you experience poor sound quality at any time for your computer speakers, you may wish to try dialing in by phone instead. This can be done by accessing your device settings at the top of the screen within the Teams session. Just click the three dots for more settings, then click device settings, and a device settings area will open on your right-hand side. Participants will remain muted throughout the session. However, there is a chat area which can be accessed via the top of your screen in Teams. We will be monitoring this throughout the session, so please submit any questions or comments you may have at any time, and then there will also be an open Q&A at the end. Right, so now for your presenters today. So as always, you're joined by myself and Imogen. So I am a customer support advisor at CLA looking after customer queries, and Imogen is our senior product manager for the DCS. And we are also joined by a brand new team member today, who I'm sure some of our eagle-eyed viewers may have already spotted, but we're going to give them a chance to introduce themselves very shortly. Right now, we're just going to move over to our agenda. Okay, great. So to start with, we'll be introducing a new member of the DCS team. We'll then talk a little bit about a refresh for some of the DCS support pages. In this instance, we're going to be talking about the knowledge base and also the CLA announcement section on the DCS homepage. I'll then hand you over to Imogen, who's going to talk through some DCS updates, and then we'll end with a quick demo of the Kortext student reader. So we'll go through some of the different types of reader, the anonymous and the advanced, and we'll let you know what you can do on both. And after we've gone through that, there will be a Q&A at the end. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to welcome Stephen to the CLA team. So Stephen has just joined us as another customer support advisor here at CLA. I'm sure you can see Stephen now in the team session. I'm now going to pass you over to Stephen just to say a quick hello.
Yeah, hello everyone. As Cameron said, my name is Stephen. I'm part of the CLA team, new member. I'm glad to be part of the team, and I'll be happy to be working with you all and answering your inquiries. So I'm working as a customer advisor, and feel free to send your inquiries. From now on, you're going to see my name very often if you haven't already seen it. And yeah, I'll be very happy to work with you.
Amazing. Thanks,
Thank
Stephen.
you,
Yeah, and
Cameron.
welcome to the team.
Yep.
Yes, no, it's good to have you. Wonderful. Okie dokie. So we're now going to talk very briefly about the, well, not briefly, we're going to talk about the support pages for the DCS. So particularly, we're going to start now with a revamp of the knowledge base. So as I'm sure many of you are aware, very soon we'll be updating the DCS with the brand new look of paint. Imogen's going to talk a bit more about that later on. But we thought that this would also be a good opportunity to go through and revamp the knowledge base as well, to try and make it easier for you to find the information that you're looking for on there. So we have been keeping track of the requests we have received from you about the knowledge base, so we do have a good foundation of where to start. Firstly, we know that many of you have been asking for a section on the knowledge base for first-time users to go and learn the basics of the DCS. The idea here is that it's an area for any new members of staff or anybody who wants a quick refresh to go with all the necessary information in one place. So we have also been receiving some ideas for new articles and rewriting existing articles. For example, we will soon be writing a bit on when you should use the add new record function on the DCS. We'll also be adding some articles relating to the different integrations on the DCS, relating both to new releases and also some top tips for troubleshooting. For example, we are aware that Ex-Libris have recently released a new feature regarding reading list entries with multiple course codes. So we are currently working with them, and we hope to have an article on our knowledge base around that soon. And last but very much not least, videos. So we've been hoping to add a video suite to our knowledge base for quite some time now. And now that we have a bit of extra, well, now with Stephen here, we've got some extra time that we can use to focus on these things. We can really get started in earnest. So the videos will likely, first of all, be for the first time users section mentioned earlier. We will expand these out as and when required. So these are initial ideas, but what we really want to do is know what you think, what kind of stuff you'd like to see on the knowledge base, what you like and what you want to see changed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a quick link in the chat now. So bear with me a moment as I just get that up. Okay, now I'm just popping this link in the chat now. So this is actually the same same sort of link that Imogen sent a couple of sessions previously, but basically this is somewhere where you can put any thoughts you have or suggestions for what you want to see on the knowledge base. So if there is something that you think is, you know, honestly a bit rubbish, you can't find what you're looking for, let us know and then we can use this opportunity to improve it. On the other hand, if there's something on there that you think, oh, this is amazing, I like how this is laying out at the moment, also let us know, because then we know not to go ahead and change it. So please do let us know your thoughts on there. Don't worry about just sort of opening a new tab now and putting all your thoughts right away. That will be available. I think it's the link is live for about a week and I'll be sending it as part of the follow-up to this webinar. So if you do have anything that comes to mind, feel free to pop it on there via the link. Also, you can just get in touch with us via our normal support email address and let us know, and that'd be fantastic. So yeah, please do let us know. For now, there is something else that I'd like to speak about. So we've got that knowledge base link, so please do have a think about that. But I'd like to talk to you briefly about the CLA announcements section on the DCS homepage. So as time has gone on, this announcement section of the DCS homepage has accumulated more and more announcements and unfortunately has evolved into a bit of a wall of text. So we know a lot of users just scroll straight past the announcements page or just toggle the front page so they don't need to look at it. Recently, so Imogen has trimmed this down so it's not quite as text heavy as it once was. So this is what it looks like at the moment, or it will look like on the new branding. But the question we wanted to ask you is whether or not you want this to be trimmed down even further. So this is what it looks like with the new branding at the moment. As you can see, nowhere near as text heavy as it was. We've gotten rid of some of the old announcements which are no longer relevant, for example, about the Advanced Student Reader and Born Digital. But we still have various different links on there that we think are useful. So we've got stuff to the knowledge base, we've got some stuff to different articles. But what we're wondering is, would you prefer this option, or let's go to option B, which is a bit more radical. So we've literally taken out all those links there and we've left one link here, it says please see here, but all the previous bits of information will be kept instead. So that the idea is that here link over there, let me just zoom in a little bit on there so you can see a bit better. So the idea is that that will go through straight to a knowledge base page where you can see all the previously accessed links. So you'd still be able to go and find what you're looking for, but then we can use this announcements page just for upcoming announcements, like the really important stuff that's just going on right now. The idea is that by clearing this out, it would mean you're more likely to actually notice the announcements we put on there. They won't be lost in everything else. So what I'd like to ask everyone here is which option you prefer. So we've got option A, which is to leave it as it is now. It's had a bit of a trim, so that will still leave all the links on there. We're not going to trim it down any further. Option B, to move all the information on there currently to the knowledge base, so you can just click a link and go through to it. Or option C, so move some of it and not all of it. So if there's anything that you'd like us to move, but you think there's some especially useful links on there, please let us know by please let us know which links you'd like to keep. So I'm going to start a poll here so you can say which option you'd prefer. Let me just get that up. Okay, so that poll should now be live. Hope everybody can see that. Let me just have a look here.
I don't know how it is for other people, Cameron, but for me, the poll is obscuring what options A and B are. It might be very useful if you could just reiterate.
Sure, sorry about that. So option A is, so you should be able to click and drag the poll, but so with option A, that's to keep things as they are at the moment. Option B is to move everything over to the knowledge base, and option C is to move some stuff over to the knowledge base, but leave a couple still on the home page so you can have a look at them. Okay.
Pretty strong results, I think.
Yes, pretty strong results, yes. Okay, so it's looking like the majority of you would like us just to move everything over to the knowledge base. So that's absolutely, yeah, fair enough. So we can get started on that very soon. A couple of you did want to still leave some stuff on there. Please do let us know what it is that you did want to keep on there, because I think if it was just say one link or something like that, then you could leave that on there, because we don't want to just, I don't know, leave you high and dry, as it were. But yeah, let us know what it is and we can have a think about that. But it does look pretty unanimous that you'd like us to move everything over to the knowledge base. So thank you everybody for taking the time to have a look at that. That's great. Let me just close the poll now. Okay, yes, so I can see someone here said, yep, a link to knowledge base for queries, and useful to have a few links to check permissions in the knowledge base. No, that's great, thank you. Yeah, that's great. Thank you for letting us know about that. Okay, I think with that, I'm going to pass you back over to Imogen, who's going to give you some DCS updates. So Imogen, if you'd like to take control of the deck, and I'll pass over to you.
I think I've managed to share my screen, but I have also lost the chat, so I'm going to have to rely on you to
Yep. No problem.
to deal with that.
No
Okay,
worries.
super, thank you. So DCS updates. Okay, first up, just check permissions. So we have now completed these for all HEIs. So just to say, if you think that there's anything outstanding for your institution, please let us know. As far as we're concerned, this is the end of the 22-23 academic year tasks. And so hopefully you're now well on your way to feeling ready for the new year for 23-24. And to help it feel like a new year, we have the DCS rebrand coming up. So RIP the lime green, and hello to the soothing teal colour of our new branding. You've seen some of the screens already in Cameron's section above, and we did walk through the overall look and feel last time. I just wanted to show a very quick screen share here. So you can see that the left-hand menu, this is one of the changes that we're bringing with it, now stays anchored to the top of the page, meaning that it's much easier for you to get to other areas. Something else that we've done is standardize all of these pop-ups so that we have this sort of red cancel button is always in the same place. So hopefully that'll mean less, I don't know, cognitive load. And we're going to be pushing this live tonight after 5 p.m. I should caveat that we're just doing our final regression testing, final technical testing. So assuming nothing crops up there, we'll be pushing this live tonight after 5 p.m. So you'll be able to look around yourselves very, very soon. And please do let us know what you think. When you go in tomorrow, could I just ask you to clear your cache? That will make sure that it refreshes with the new rebrand. So Control F5 will clear the cache and allow all of the new fonts and styles and things to load. Cameron will reiterate that in the release notes. So thank you. Other things new, I'm not managing to change my screen anymore. There we go. There are a couple of third-party updates. So with our partners, Cameron actually mentioned these earlier. Ex Libris have created a fix for the multiple course code question. It's not perfect, but it does mean that a reading list attached to multiple courses will create a request for each of the course codes in the DCS. So that'll keep all of the courses in the tracking a little bit better. And then any Cersei Dynex users, the integration with the Blue Cloud system is now live. Oops, daisy, sorry, I've gone too far. So anybody who has got Cersei Dynex can go online. There's, I believe, your new knowledge base article is now live, Cameron. And if I was able to scroll to the right bit and not well, I can put a link to that in the chat shortly. I don't think I can do that and share my screen at the same time. I am not that adept. So a couple of things that our integration partners have been working on. And then what's coming next? Well, the next thing that we'll be working on is loading more Born Digital titles. We've actually got about 140,000 titles in the queue. I would imagine that after they kind of go into the funnel and some get rejected for formatting or whatever, we should still end up with well over 100,000 titles being loaded. So that I really hope will mean that you get significantly more hits when you're searching for content. A large number of these are Taylor and Francis. There's also titles from Wiley, Bristol University Press, Springer Nature, University of California, and various other publishers. So more Born Digital coming very soon. Later in the year, we'll be doing some back-end updates. So these are some security upgrades, cleaning. Yes, we really do want to clean the data over 4 years old. So this is something that we've been talking about for a while, and anyone who did attend an engagement call with me earlier this year, and I will be sending out invites again if anybody hasn't yet met and would like to, or yeah, we can meet again, of course. I'll send out another invite shortly, but we've been talking about the best way to kind of clean up data, and we will be doing this in a sort of automated manner, but we'll talk in more detail at an upcoming webinar. For now, I just want to say it's going to happen, but we won't delete anything at all without warning and without plenty more information. Then there are a couple of sort of specific things that I want to look at. So one is exploring integration with the second extract permissions. So, excuse me. That means you're able to carry out all of the kind of main DCS activities in one place. And then also improving, at the moment we have like a fuzzy search, which means that the system should give you a return even if there's a typo, or it'll ignore caps and punctuation and things. But it also means that you end up with loads and loads and loads of hits because it's searching very, very widely, which might not be relevant at all. I'd actually quite like to set up just a little working group to explore how we can improve the search facility. We'll have to address books and journals separately because the search function's built differently. But if you have a particular interest in search, do let me know. If not, I'll reach out to a few people and see if we can explore that a little bit more together. And then finally, there's a long list of ideas for next year, but some of the key things that we're looking at, supporting EPUBs, so ingesting EPUBs into our Born Digital set, improving the accessibility flags. Again, we've talked about accessibility quite a lot with anyone on engagement calls. The ability to purchase a chapter in the DCS, so kind of like eHES, but with the material already there. And I don't know, open to suggestions. So again, let us know if there's anything that you think is would make a real difference to you. I think that's all I really have to say about DCS updates. So I'm going to hand back to Cameron.
Great, thanks, Imogen. Bear with me a moment. I just want to check. Is anyone else having trouble seeing the screen for the webinar? Because there's someone in the chat that's having some trouble. So I just want to make sure that everybody can see everything okay. Okie dokie.
Oh, Megan, you've got a hand up. Does that mean you can't see or you can see? Right. So okay. It sounds like it's an issue with Francis.
Okay, in that case, yeah, don't worry. If you can try maybe leaving or joining again, and we will be sending out a recording and also the slides after the webinar, so you'll have all the content available there. All righty. Okay, bear with me a moment. I'm just going to get all this up again. Okay, brilliant. There we are. Okay, thanks, Imogen. So I'm now going to go through and give a quick recap on the student reader, or should I say the different kinds of student reader. So a lot of institutions make use of the reader, but some are not aware they're actually different versions. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk through the different versions, what you can do on them, and talk a little bit about the difference between the two. Right, so the Kortext student reader comes automatically switched on for new DCS users. So the reader is a distinct offering from the DCS. It is possible to use the DCS without it, but the e-reader provides students with an extra tools they can use while looking at scans. So there are two versions of the web reader. There's the anonymous reader and the advanced reader. The advanced reader requires you to sign in with a Kortext account, but the anonymous reader does not. You do not need to pay any extra to have access to the advanced reader. It's just available to anyone who chooses to create a Kortext account and sign in. The two readers, they look very similar. In fact, the only difference between the two is that the advanced reader comes with some extra features, which I'm now going to walk through now. So I'm going to do a quick demo. So let's jump out of here. So we're going to start with this section right here. So we're going to start with, sorry, bear with me a moment. Yeah, so this is basically what it looks like when the reader is switched off. So as you can see, we've still got the copyright notice automatically generated here. You can see the various information about the scan itself. And to be honest, actually, I should say, so this is actually another sneak preview because this is a copyright notice with the new branding. So you can see the font is different. Points to anyone who spotted that in the chat. So this is what it looks like without the student reader. So it is just opened on the browser. So at the moment I'm using Chrome, so it's opened on Chrome. And what you can do with the scan really depends on what browser you've opened it with. So for example, if you have opened the scan with Edge, you will see different things than if you open the scan in Chrome. So it will depend a lot on what browser you're using. But if I just jump over here, so this is what the anonymous student reader looks like. So I've got this in the way at the bottom of my screen. So as you can see, we've got the copyright notice that's automatically generated. This is generated each time a student clicks a link. So if a bit of information on the DCS is updated, then that will be reflected on here. So if there's an extra author has been added, then the student will be able to see that the next time the link is clicked. Also worth mentioning as well is if you've generated a DCS link under non-CLA permissions, for example, with direct permissions or if it's open access, then you'll see a slightly different copyright notice here. It will be stripped down. It'll just be a generic non-CLA one to indicate that you have generated the extract under alternative permissions. Quite broad, and basically is up to each HEI to decide whether or not that is sufficient for the purposes of sharing that scan. So it will depend on what permissions you're using, but if it's the case where the generic one that's generated is not sufficient, then you may need to go ahead and add another copyright notice to the scan. Worth mentioning, this does not affect any scans in the shared repository because only scans that have been uploaded under the terms of the CLA license are visible in the shared repository. Right, okay, so we're on the anonymous reader at the moment. So I'm not sure, can everybody, Imogen, Stephen, can you see my little taskbar at the bottom of the screen here? You can, okay. Well, I'm just going to do a little bit of messing around with this because I want to show you how to navigate through. One of those things where you try it before and it's fine, and then you get to the actual day and, there you are. Anyway, so there are a couple of ways you can go through navigating the scan on the anonymous reader. So you can see those arrow icons in the bottom here that you can flick through. You can also flick through just using the arrows on your keyboard here. You can also enter in a page here and it will take you to that page. So let's just go page 8 and it will take you there. Or you can drag and drop using the scroll bar here. And if you do choose to do that, then you can use the return to page button here in the bottom left-hand corner, and that will just take you to where you were previously. You can also adjust the size of the scan, so you can fit it horizontally or you can zoom in here, and then go for a full page over there. And if you look on the left-hand side, you can also see some extra features you can use. So let's just scroll over here. If you click the magnifying glass, if the scan is OCR'd, you can use this to search for certain key phrases in the scan itself. So let's just type in something like number here, and it'll show you all the times that number is mentioned in the scan. So if they want to search for a specific quote, they can do that here. There's also the option to download the file to print it out here, so they can print out all the pages or just select a certain page range. And you can also change the settings of the scan itself, not of the scan itself, sorry, of the reader itself. So if you change the language here, it will just change the language in the settings here. It won't change anything on the scan. So this is the anonymous reader, and this is basically just what it looks like if the student accesses the content link and chooses not to sign in. If they wanted to try and make use of some features that only exist on the advanced reader, so say if you want to highlight this and then highlight this in a lovely sort of pink color, you'll be prompted to sign in. So if we just click sign in here, get taken to the sign in page. So if you've already got an account, if the student's already got an account, they can enter it here, or they can create one down here under create my account. If your institution uses Kortext for ebooks, then the same account will work here. If they want to sign in, they won't need to create a new one. Let's go users here, sign in. And then we're taken through to the advanced reader. So as you can see, it looks pretty much the same at first glance as the anonymous reader. The only difference is you do gain access to some of those extra features. So for example, if we go through here, let's find Indeed table 2.1. Let's make it that nice pink color. Okay, bear with me a moment. Maybe let's try something on the cover page here. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I'm not too sure what's happening there. There we are. Okay, apologies everybody, not too sure what was happening with that, but as you can see, you can make use of the highlight feature here. And then if you go and you click on the pencil icon here, you get to notes and you can see the different highlighted sections of the scan. If you click on the pencil icon here and edit note, you can leave little instructions for yourself. So you could say, bring this up during the seminar, and then click save, and that will be saved there for the students to go back to. What you can also do is you can share it, so you can email it, or you can share it with a group, which is something that's set up on Kortext as well. So if I click share to group, then I've got one here that I set up earlier called Philosophy Reading List, and you can share those notes with the other people in that group. Or you can send an email over. So if you click this icon here, you can enter in a recipient's email address and send that over, and that will just come through as a regular email with a link with the notes available to view. What you can also do is you can bookmark certain sections of the scan. So say if we're reading along and we want to return to a page, you can add a bookmark and then you can go back to it. So if I then go over here and click this, it will take me back. And then also we've got these other features such as downloading the file, printing it out. You can see some further information on the scan itself and also the settings. Now, what you can also do, so if I just click this back icon over here, so this will just take me to the Kortext library itself. And this is something where it's more in the domain of Kortext than ourselves, than CLA. But if you make use of the Kortext of the reader for ebooks, you'll be able to see all your books here. But if you click on course packs, you'll be able to see all the DCS links that you have opened. So there's lots here because obviously I'm sort of jumping around and testing different links. But the student who was signed into the reader will be able to see all the links that they have previously opened. And if I jump over here to groups, this is the one I made earlier, and then they can also just create different groups and they can add other students there if they want to share certain extracts from their reading, or if they've got a reading group, then they can do that using the groups function. Right, so that, I hope everyone found that helpful, just going through the difference between the two kinds of reader. I'm now just going to quickly open up the slides, jump over to the Q&A section. I'm having a lot of grief and hassle with my taskbar there, sorry about that. And now we're going to move to the Q&A. So if anybody does have any questions, queries, anything they'd like us to go over again, please do let us know and we can go through those now. Okay, doesn't look like any questions are coming through. We're going to give it a few more minutes just in case anybody does have anything they'd like to ask, and we can go through those.
If any questions do come up, of course, there's the help desk, and Cameron and Stephen will pick it up.
The now doubled help desk.
Yay! Great.
Great.
Okay.
All right, wonderful. Okay, in that case, I think we'll round up there. But thank you everybody for joining. We hope you found it helpful. As mentioned, we'll be sending out the slides and recording later on. So if you'd like to review any of the content covered, you can. And we'll also be including that link for feedback with the knowledge base revamp. So if you want to go through and you have any ideas or something you like, dislike, then just send it over. But of course, as Imogen says, you're always welcome to just get in touch with the help desk, and Stephen and I can go ahead and have a look. But yeah, fantastic. Well, I hope everybody has a lovely rest of your day, and take care.
Folks, see you next time. Cheers. Apparently we're inviting people to the August webinar, Cameron.
Yeah, no, I just noticed this. Yeah. Don't worry, you don't have to wait another 12 months. Okie dokie. I'll send this now.
Okay. See you later.
Bye.